Thank you, Madam Speaker. Failed tax and spending policies by Biden and liberal Democrats hurt families. Since Biden took office, the 10-year spending levels have increased by $10 trillion. Sadly, this includes the $2 trillion American Rescue Plan, which ignited the highest inflation in 40 years, destroying jobs. I was grateful to join House Republicans in passing the Limit, Save, and Grow Act, which will limit government spending, reduce the federal regulations, and promote pro-growth energy policies. House Republicans are the only ones who have passed legislation that responsibly addresses the debt ceiling by limiting irresponsible spending, saving taxpayers' dollars, and creating jobs. Democrats own this debt crisis, and they own default if they do not come to the table with a serious proposal. In conclusion, God bless our troops who successfully protected America for 20 years as the global war on terrorism continues moving from the Afghanistan safe haven to America. South Carolina appreciates Senator Tim Scott and Ambassador Nikki Haley. I yield back.
Good afternoon, friends. I have important news to share with you this Monday. Changes are being made by Republicans and Democrats. Officials have confirmed a funding cut that is worth billions of dollars for the Internal Revenue Service. State lawmakers have also just approved new tax exemptions and rebate checks for their residents. My dearest friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video for all the details. Also, in a video later today, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter today's giveaway, all you have to do, friends, is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, the greater your chances, friends, of winning the giveaways. President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy announced great news this week when they reached a U.S. debt ceiling deal. However, some conservative Republicans are expressing frustration that the agreed spending cuts were not big enough, and there have been similar reactions coming from some Democrats. House Speaker McCarthy confirmed several things, including stopping new tax proposals, slashing spending, and cutting some of the massive $80 billion that the Inflation Reduction Act had promised in new funding to the Internal Revenue Service. There are even new work requirements being added for welfare recipients, as Speaker McCarthy explained in a news conference. The bill that strikes the needed debt ceiling compromise is called the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2023. When it comes to the IRS, it will rescind $1.39 billion in IRS funds that were passed as part of the Inflation Reduction Act. This is not much of a cut, but an additional $20 billion in appropriations funding to the IRS is supposed to be reallocated during 2024 and 2025. That makes the total cuts to the IRS funding north of $21 billion. House Speaker McCarthy has been criticized by his own party for initially commenting that he expected to cut $1.8 billion in IRS funding, which conservative Republicans had wanted to slash much more deeply. A growing number of Americans are concerned about the hiring of new IRS agents. Faced with the necessity of compromising with the White House, Speaker McCarthy has said that his deal would prevent more than $1 billion from being wasted on hiring new IRS agents. The Inflation Reduction Act passed last year gave the IRS billions of dollars to go into what the Wall Street Journal at the time called serious mode. That law was doling out about $80 billion to the IRS for increased enforcement, operational improvements, customer service, and systems modernization. That stands at more than 6 times the 2022 annual IRS budget of $12.6 billion. Of the $80 billion, a whopping $45.6 billion was for enforcement. So, dear friends, what are your thoughts on these changes to the debt ceiling plan? Should more funds be rescinded from the IRS? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Now, on the state level, changes are being made to taxes. There are 2 new tax exemptions in Iowa that residents should be aware of. One of the exemptions is for military service. The military exemption will be increased to $4,000. Veterans who are already receiving a military exemption will automatically see the increase without having to refile. The exemption increase will appear on property taxes that are payable in the fall of 2024 and the spring of 2025. The second tax exemption is for people 65 years of age or older. The new exemption is in addition to the current homestead tax credit that homeowners already have. For people 65 and older who own the home they live in, are eligible for a homestead tax exemption. For the assessment year beginning on January 1st, 2023, the exemption is $3,250 of taxable value. For assessment years beginning on or after January 1st, 2024, the exemption is for $6,500 of taxable value. If the exemption is granted, it will be allowed in future years without refiling, as long as a person continues to qualify. Taxpayers in the state of Minnesota can expect a rebate check in just a few months. It is under a $3 billion tax cut bill nearing approval in the legislature. Democratic Senate Tax Committee Chair Ann Ress said, after negotiators unveiled the framework of the bill, that she was extremely proud of the measure, adding that it will provide significant tax relief for families and children. Democratic Representative Aisha Gomez said the bill will significantly cut child poverty. The bill also includes about $1 billion in tax increases for the next 2-year budget, which takes effect July 1st, 2023. They include a tax aimed at companies with international earnings, plus changes aimed at some high-income earners, and it will authorize some communities to raise local sales taxes. Well, my magnificent and most awesome friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Monday. My dearest friends, thank you so very, very much for being here and for being part of this community. I will be announcing several winners in a video later today. If you'd like to enter the giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances, friends, of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed Memorial Day.